My cheating husband said to his mistress that the camera was just a dog toy. It became the judge, jury, and executioner. The notification icon on my phone screen was a cheerful, bright yellow paw print, a stark contrast to the anxiety that had been gnawing at my stomach for the last 3 hours. It was 2:07 p.m. on Valentine's Day. I was supposed to be 300 miles away, sitting in a hospital waiting room with my mom while my dad recovered from hip surgery. Instead, I was sitting in my car, parked 2 houses down from my own driveway, staring at the live feed from my living room. My husband, Mark, had insisted I go. "Your parents need you," he had said, his voice dripping with concern that I now realized was just relief. "I have to work all weekend anyway. Go. I'll hold down the fort. I missed my dog." That was the lie I told myself when I opened the Furbo app. I just wanted to see Buster. I wanted to toss him a treat and hear his happy bark. The app buffered. The little loading circle spun. Then, the image snapped into focus. My stomach dropped so hard I felt it in my knees. Buster wasn't alone. Mark was sitting on our gray sectional sofa. He wasn't working. He wasn't wearing his work-from-home sweatpants. He was wearing the nice button-down shirt I bought him for our anniversary last year. And sitting right next to him, close enough that their thighs were touching, was a woman. I knew her. It wasn't a vague recognition. It was a sharp, visceral punch to the gut. It was Ashley, the 23-year-old intern he had been mentoring. The one he called Kiddo. The one he swore was like a little sister. She was laughing, her head thrown back, her hand resting casually on his knee. But that wasn't the worst part. On the coffee table in front of them sat a red gift bag. My red gift bag. The one I had hidden in the back of the closet 3 weeks ago. The one containing a custom engraved watch that cost me 2 paychecks. Ashley was reaching for it. "Is this for me?" I heard her ask through the tiny speaker on my phone. Her voice was tinny, distorted by the digital compression, but the flirtatiousness was undeniable. "Of course," Mark said. "Happy Valentine's Day." I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. My vision went a little blurry at the edges. He was giving her my gift. He was re-gifting my love to his mistress in my living room while my dog watched. Ashley pulled the box out of the bag. It was a velvet box from the jeweler. She popped the lid. "Oh my God, Mark," she gasped. "It's beautiful." She lifted the watch. It glinted in the afternoon sun streaming through the window I had cleaned last week. "Read the back," Mark said, leaning in. I had it engraved. I gripped the steering wheel with my free hand. Engraved. He thought it was blank, or did he think she wouldn't notice the initial? "Mark," Ashley giggled. "You're so romantic. Are you sure she's not coming back?" "I told you," Mark scoffed, pouring wine into 2 glasses. My good crystal glasses. "She's dealing with her parents. She won't be back until Monday. We have the whole weekend." "What about the camera?" Ashley pointed directly at the Furbo sitting on the entertainment center. My heart stopped. "Don't worry about that thing," Mark laughed, waving a hand dismissively. "It only alerts her if the dog barks. And Buster is chill. Besides, I turned the notifications off on her iPad before she left." He turned the notifications off. He planned this. He orchestrated it. He sent me to my sick father so he could play house with a girl 10 years younger than him. Buster wasn't barking. He was sitting on the rug, staring directly into the lens of the camera. His tail gave a little thump. He knew I was watching. He knew. Ashley looked at the watch again. She turned it over. "Forever, my love," she read slowly. Then she frowned. "E, for Emma. What does E stand for?" Ashley asked, looking up at Mark. Mark froze. He hadn't checked. He hadn't even looked at the engraving. He just grabbed the bag and assumed. Mark stammered. "Eternal? Like, eternal love? Eternal?" Ashley raised an eyebrow. "That's weird." I couldn't take it anymore. The rage was a physical thing now, a living creature clawing its way out of my throat. I pressed the microphone button on the screen. What happens in the next 10 seconds isn't just a breakup. It is a tactical detonation of a man's life using a speaker the size of a golf ball. By the time I take my thumb off the talk button, the silence in that living room is going to be loud enough to shatter glass. For full story, kindly follow instructions on screen.